Anarchy.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 26 of Anarchy in Space. Space. I am Nikki P, here as always with my wonderful co-host, Rebel with a Cause, Eric Heiler. How are you doing today, Eric?
I be doing.
I like the way you said that. Said it with authority.
I be doing. I just have to lower my voice.
I need to pay attention to what this man says. That's all I know. We are here to talk about episode 3 of season 3 of The Expanse, Assured Destruction.
Not mutually, just assured destruction.
I mean, I think that is probably just the lot of humanity in the end. The only thing we're guaranteed is we are going to destroy ourselves somehow.
At some point, yes.
So, dude, season 3 is, man, this one just keeps a clip. Keeps going. It's throwing shit at us left and right.
Oh, yeah.
This episode is no different, but why don't you you walk us through this one?
Okay, so this one kind of started off with Aaron Wright kind of pushing a preemptive strike against Mars's long-range missile launchers. And I guess these are nukes that they're talking about with Mars.
Well, isn't almost everything nukes with the exception of like the railguns at this point?
Yeah, pretty much. And then Anna, the spiritual advisor, I guess that's her title to the UN Secretary General, was to try and take as few lives as possible. But I guess that didn't really pan out too well, considering how it all ended up. So in order to end the war, Aaron Wright is working his politician mojo on him, because nothing will unite humanity against a common enemy more than another war, right? So, but it was a kind of a nifty little political intrigue opening scene there.
I mean, really, it all just kind of feels like, well, nothing is going to bury my underhanded dealings better than destroying all the evidence in the middle of a galactic war.
Yeah, exactly.
And he almost got away with it, except for the dastardly kids.
So they power up one of their rail guns, and then they turn it off, thinking it was like, okay, well, maybe they'll scare him, and I guess nothing happened there. But that caused a malfunction. So one of the Mars long-range missile launchers didn't get hit at the same time as the other 4. So it did actually manage to launch one. And one of its missiles landed down in South America and killed 2 million people in the Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, that is not surprising. That moment specifically reminds me of Starship Troopers.
Yes.
Just because it's, South America. And you're like, why is it always Buenos Aires?
It's like, oh, I wasn't expecting thunder today. And then the screen goes empty.
Yeah, so specifically the issue is that and honestly, Aaron Wright is one hell of a political gamesmanship guy because he turns this in his favor and actually psychologically fucks the Secretary General, whatever his name is there. Yeah. His reason, well, because the reason the guns don't fire is because there was a malfunction because of the power cycling from when they turned them off.
Right.
And so he gets to say, oh, well, those people in South America died. That's on your hands.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have the balls to fire when we could have, when we had the solution.
Right.
You quivered and quaked and didn't want to murder all these people outright. And what's the terrible thing is he still ends up murdering all those people, but more people.
Right. An entire city.
And I personally just feel so bad for Anna and all this.
Yeah, because she's kind of coming in at a really shitty time.
Well, she's coming being brought in to basically be like, because she's a gifted writer, but she's a priest who's being forced to sit and like take part in a war she wants nothing to do with.
Right.
Like she doesn't get the option to sit on the sidelines. Like everything wants to draw her into this conflict and put the fucking blood on her hands in one way or another. Yeah. And it's just awful.
Yeah. And then almost kind of being like a little bit of a spin master, because she's got to write the speeches and everything for him. So
the big thing is the trap that Aaron Wright has set is because, God, there's nothing more than shit that we don't know anything about. And so we know enough about Venus and what's going on over there to really basically just scare people. And so Aaron Wright has created in Esteban's head this idea that whatever there is we can't possibly understand it. It's going to be an advanced civilization, and we need to have all of humanity united, Earth, belters, and Martians to fight against whatever this enemy is. And the only way to do that is we have to force humanity to be one.
Yeah.
The age old, if you have to join back with us, and we will force it so that we can force you to be part of us to fight this other thing. Like, having been involved in like the political place that I've been in for the past couple of years as deeply as I have been, some of this shit you're just like, oh my God, the lines that people tell themselves, I cannot fucking believe it.
Yeah. There's a lot of mental gymnastics going on.
Like, oh my God. So where do we head from there?
All right. Well, I guess from there we can go to the crew of the formerly named Rocinante, which I think they named it after a pine tree now. So it's a and the name escapes me at this point. But we find Avasarala recovering in the little medical bed, and Bobby Draper kind of looking around. And one of the first great Amos lines is when Bobby Draper finds the little Martian flag with one of the moons removed. And Amos says, well, it's not funny now. It was funny at the time, though.
Yeah, I know.
It was one of those great little Amos little throwaway lines, which it got me to chuckle.
Well, and it was before we started actually recording. You and me were talking. My wife started watching the show, and now we're kind of like racing through them again, like I did the first time.
Right.
So we're like halfway through season 3, and it is now dawning on me that season 3 is probably exactly where my love for Amos really fucking kind of solidifies, because he gets so much good meat in this particular season. Like, he's just, all of the good jokes are Amos. Like, but like at the same time, like he gets wrapped up in these really good storylines.
Yes.
Like the whole thing going on with him and Prax is like super compelling. And I mean, I get through about halfway in the season, that kind of comes to its natural conclusion, I feel like.
Yeah.
And as I will tell the audience, as I told Eric, I want to tell him so fucking bad what happened, but I can't, because it's literally just going to be the exact perfect. You'll see it coming a million miles away when it happens, but it is literally the most perfect encapsulation of like what's going on with Prax and Amos. Because right now we're watching Prax slowly descend into, he's slowly losing his humanity and becoming Amos.
Yeah.
And man, that whole storyline is just like one of my favorites in the series because it's so good.
Yep. Well, I can't wait to watch that one then. So
he's gonna shit all over himself, folks.
Yes.
I'm telling him that right now.
Just lose my mind.
Gotta get the wife to clean it up.
Just start gibbering in the chair, covered in my own feces. There's a nice little image for everybody.
You had to take it to the feces.
Of course, got to use medical terms.
Well, we're at Kotiar now, right? We get Kotiar on the Agatha King.
Yeah, Kotiar on the Agatha King, which, by the way, is a weird name for a ship. I'll have to look up who that actually is. But yeah, Kotiar is also in a med bed because he's got to recover from his gunshot wounds to the gut.
Fucker won't die, though, will he?
No, he won't. And, before they got picked up by the Agatha King, he chokes out the dude that helped him escape. And that way he can be the lone survivor, I guess. But he was very apologetic about it, as he's strangling the life out of the guy.
But he knows he doesn't survive anyway, any other way.
Right.
If that guy can talk,
yeah,
he's going to cast doubt on what happened. He's going to give them too much information.
Yeah.
It's a loose end that's going to get Kotiar killed because that dude was a pussy.
Right.
And they already know because they got the same shit out of him.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get Kotiar killed, and his only method of survival is that guy not being there, sadly.
Yeah. He'll be like John McCain with the North Vietnamese. He'll just sing, when they break his arm. So it's
la 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 la.
Right. And then it's there's a little bit of military upper echelon intrigue going on there, because now we have a different admiral coming aboard the ship to question the prisoner that's Kotiar. And there's a little bit of a power play there. And I guess the admiral of the Agatha King is kind of friendly with Avasarala, so he's kind of sensing something's up.
Well, so what's going on here is just you have Wynn, who used to be underneath, what's his name there, Souther. Because Souther used to be the boss of the military.
Right.
And he stepped down because he couldn't conscionably do the things that he was being asked to do. He thought that the games were being played. And so he was demoted out of that position and given like a ship to kind of go, hey, go out there and whatever.
Yeah, apparently a rust bucket, as they're putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, they gave him a pile of shit. But then, all of a sudden, we got this other guy, the guy who took his job,
right,
who's now trying to big dick him because he's in a position of power over someone who used to have power over him, which is, oh my God, every story I've ever heard of bureaucracy and military. Like, it's all just, when you get the chance to fuck the guy that used to be over you, you have to take it.
Yep. It's almost like a rite of passage.
But we get very clear signals that this dude's not on the level. He's not telling anyone everything. And so we can make some pretty big assumptions on why he's really there.
Right.
And it's also clear Souther didn't get that job that he had for no reason.
Yeah.
'Cause he's obviously hedging his bets from the get. The minute this dude shows up, he's doing whatever he can to get as much information and catch himself up as possible.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's good he does.
Yeah. So he's got to get all the info that he's kind of missed since he's not in total command now from Kotiar, who kind of spills the beans on what's going on with Avasarala, that they're, Avasarala is not a traitor. She's actually trying to stop this thing from actually beginning, but now it's got to work on trying to end it before it gets worse, as Avasarala tells Naomi at one point in the mess hall. So, but yeah, this whole Agatha King thing was kind of funny because the Souther kind of uses the fact that there's electronic problems to his advantage. So he's making up this problem on a couple of decks to kind of hide the fact that he's now going to go talk to this guy.
Well, he doesn't make up the problem. He just acts as if the problem is still continuing.
Right. That's true.
It was already fixed, but he pretends it hasn't been.
Yeah.
And dude, the thing I love about that, because there's that baller move where he actually, the guy uses the signal, like uses the power to signal to him that like shit changed. Because they thought they'd have more time. They didn't have that much time.
Right.
And so when Wynn's on his way down there, he pre-signals to Souther to get the hell out of there by flipping everything back on normal.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that, because they do that whole, oh my God, Wynn's gonna find him there, but he doesn't, he's gone. But you see he left moments before. And the reason he left was because the guy had flipped the power back on steady in that the minute Wynn left him, which gave just enough signal time to go, oh shit, I better get the fuck out of here. If that's they just instinctively knew.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I might have been checking something while that was going on. I missed it. So I'll have to go back and rewatch the episode.
No, it was awesome. I loved it.
So I guess that brings us back to Avasarala and Naomi having their little thing on the ship. And the second great Amos line of this show was trying to get Avasarala to wear mag boots on board. And he was like, "Yeah, put your weight back on your heels like you would wear pumps." And Avasarala looks at Amos and says, "What do you know about wearing pumps?" And he goes, "Hey, I wasn't always out in space."
I think that's really the moment that like I fell in love with Amos, because you're imagining big tough Amos.
Right.
What was he doing in his previous life down on fucking
Baltimore?
Baltimore, that he knows how to wear pumps. and you got to love it, because it's like you're not gonna fuck with him. It's like you find something.
You gonna laugh at him for wearing a dress? Yeah. No.
Did you ever watch the TV show Home Movies?
Oh, that was it was like late night Comedy Central, Adult Swim.
It was yeah. I think that's where it ended up eventually.
Yeah.
But Shannon the Bully is a character. He's voiced by Emo Phillips, and so he talks like this.
Yes, because I've been locked in this character since the 1980s.
I know, but I love Emo Phillips. So
yeah, no, he's funny.
But the point is, but you have a bully talking like that, and so there's the part of you that like wants to like, who the fuck are you? How can you be the bully and sound like that? But you can't. Like that's the thing, you can't. Yeah. And I feel like so much about Amos is it's like, oh my God, this dude's wore pumps, wore women's clothes, what a pussy. But then you're like, yeah, but he murders people.
Yeah, I mean, look at the guy.
A lot.
Look at the guy.
Every chance he gets. He was like, oh, look at me, I'm killing again, just killing.
Yeah, like I'm 6'1" and 250, and I'm not going to mess with Amos. Yeah.
But yeah, no, God, he's just got so much gold in this episode.
Yeah, they gave him a lot of good lines on this one. Yeah, so then Avasarala and Naomi have their little getting out of, I'm never going to be your friend, so you're wasting your breath trying to even talk to me type of conversation that they're having about the proto-molecule and why Earth needs it.
Well, and so this opens up a whole lot of conversations because, eventually becomes like Avasarala thinks she's going to get it and use it.
Right.
And she's like, well, you're not going to, and here's why. And eventually, it looks like she concedes to like, oh shit, I guess we do just have to nuke the fucking place.
Right.
You gave it to the belt already, so we're all kind of fucked. That kind of thing.
Right.
It's all pretty what it is. And she's like, you're right. I'm not gonna fucking like you, or we're not gonna get along.
Yeah, we're not gonna be friends. And then she just drinks her tea or whatever in a very Kermit-like fashion.
Dude, I just love. That's the thing. Like, there's her. As a character, I love her so much because she's just like, Just imagine like she's just like a grandma, like everyone's favorite grandma who like won't bite her tongue.
Yeah, just the old battle axe. Yeah.
Like you know what Avasarala is? She is like the living embodiment of the fucking Kermit the Frog meme.
Yeah, just that's none of my business. Yeah.
Yep. I'm just gonna sit here and sip my tea in this window. Yeah. We skipped over briefly the Mao actually down on Io stuff, where he shows up to do a walkthrough and says, "Fuck it, we're shutting all this down.
Right.
You're killing kids. This is bullshit." Lending us to believe, oh shit, Mao kind of has like some humanity. Like he's not like he's a ruthless businessman for sure, perhaps morally ambiguous, but he's not without his humanity.
Yeah, there's still a human heart beating in that chest of his. So, but so the Dr. Strickland's kind of leading him around saying, "Oh yeah, we can control the protomolecule, and we've got these kids with a rare immune deficiency problem." And so Mao sees for himself that one of the kids becomes deathly ill, and so they've had to sedate all the other children. And I guess what kind of did it was seeing May, and maybe May had reminded him of Julie Mao when she was a little kid, and that kind of brought some memories back. And he's like, "No, this is over. This isn't a debate. You're not gonna science talk me. This is done. We're shutting this program down."
At which point Strickland goes and science talks him into keeping it going. Right. How far do we get with do we get to where he's seeing, or the kid rips apart the body yet?
Not yet.
Okay, I mean that is in this episode, right?
Yeah, a little spoiler alert there. So
I can always cut it out.
Yeah. So I think what I saw was just that one kid that had like the glowing blue arm, begins coughing and spazzing out on the floor there. So
okay, so that whole thing, like we just get where when we leave this episode, Mao is saying that they're shutting it down.
Right.
Kirkland or Strickland hasn't flipped it around on him yet. Okay, so that'll be next episode. All right.
Yeah, so if Nikki P leaves that one in, that'll be a spoiler alert for next episode.
I'll cut as needs be.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little glimpse like that Mao is human. We still have the Rossi, and now we're getting
Pinus Cortana, I think, was what they renamed it to.
Yeah, whatever. What they're doing now is Avasarala is trying to convince them that they need to change their plan, change what they're doing on Io.
Yeah, and Holden laughs at her. And he's like, yeah. I've heard this song and dance before. I've even said it, type of thing. So
yeah, no, we promised Prax this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do, and they leave it up to him. Why don't you finish this part out?
So I think Holden is kind of realizing his quixotic relationship with the solar system. He's trying to fight battles that he can't win. So they've named an episode previous called "Tilting at Windmills." And so he's kind of realizing that in himself. So he doesn't want to get involved in a war. He just kind of wants to help his friend Prax out and maybe take it from there.
I mean, the war's inevitable.
Yeah, it was just going to happen.
But him being involved with it isn't. And so he wants to stay as far a fuck away from it is and keep his family alive.
Right.
Which, God, doesn't that sound like exactly what everyone's trying to do right now in reality.
Yeah.
Just stay the hell away from whatever war is going on between the left and the right now. And
yeah, just kind of sit back, just let the two gangs fight each other.
And hope to God there's a country left when it's all over.
Yep. And I guess the only thing that we missed was a little bit of closure with the Alex storyline when he got that message from his family saying they don't need him anymore.
Very specifically from his wife.
Yeah.
Or his ex-wife. I mean, technically, I think it is still his wife, isn't it? They're not ex yet.
Yeah, but I guess you can make the case for abandonment. He just ups and leaves and doesn't come back.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, maybe a bittersweet pill. I think for Alex, it's, I think he needed it.
Yeah.
I mean, to know for sure that, like, this is his closure. He made his choice.
Yeah, go out, play Space Pirate. Don't come back. Yeah.
Yeah. And while that may not be, I think so much of Alex's character is just fighting. I see it as a microcosm of the Martian thing.
Yeah.
Because Martians are raised to do very specific things and lead very specific lives.
Right.
And the life that was laid out for him, he ultimately didn't want. He found a life he preferred. But there's still that programming inside of him that I think feels like he needs to do those things, needs to be the Martian that he's supposed to be.
Right.
And, I think that it was good getting this because it kind of frees him up to say fuck what I was told. I had to be, and I'm going to be what I want to be.
Right.
Gunny had to do, I think, a lot. I had to do all of that a lot quicker than he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's working through the same battle, I think, emotionally that she is in some ways.
Yeah, Bobby Draper had to do that over the span of a couple of days, and it looks like Alex has probably been at this for like a good couple of years at it.
Yeah.
So.
We get to the technicals.
Yeah, sure. This episode, like the last episode, pretty good as far as keeping the pacing up and everything. But this one was season 3, episode 3, Assured Destruction, directed by Tor Freudenthal, written by Dan Novak, and came out April 25th, 2018. A little bit of a ratings bump of the last episode to a 0.553. So not much of one, but it was a little bit higher. Yeah,
a little bit. Episode 6.
We'll have to wait for that. It's 3 episodes away.
Damn, it is. I mean, they're all really good up until that point too. Like it doesn't let off.
Yeah, it seems like the gas is definitely being pushed down on this season. So I mean, we're just going from story point to story point.
Well, they're just overlapping each other too so much, which is interesting. Anyways, folks, this has been another episode of Anarchy in Space. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm going to be developing our show notes even further because I've apparently decided I need to learn SEO. And apparently my websites have all been terrible SEO-wise.
Yeah, I've found that even if you try to do like all of the little SEO tricks, that sometimes they don't always work. So because what will work one day won't work the next day. It's kind of an odd science.
I went and bought software to tell me exactly what to do and check everything. And holy crap, have I learned a ton.
Well, yeah, I guess if you let the software do it for you. So.
Oh, it doesn't do it for you.
Oh, okay, I got you.
We'll cover that one.
Nice.
So take it easy, folks.
All right, out.